with the SLAM?
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. So there is again a ROS plugin for that as well. ROS GPS, if you see. Yeah. So there is integrating GPS data robot localization. Localize a robot using this. How to use GPS to do autonomous navigation robot, outdoor robot navigation. So everything is available for that. Okay. And I guess
Okay, sir. Understand.
yes. So this will be helpful for you in some case, because see, in the next upcoming sessions, whenever we learn this mapping and navigation, we'll be diving deep into the code of this. So what is happening with during navigation? If I launch specific file, what is that launch file doing? We'll be learning that, and we'll be reverse engineering that. So while reverse engineering that, uh, once you understand how to reverse engineer these codes, you will be able to reverse engineer any of these codes. Okay, so now if you understand, then you can implement any of those what we say. mm, right now I showed my GPS packages and things, so that you can implement it on your robot.
Okay, sir. Sir, it has automatically traced a new path when obstacle is
Yes,
there. So can we do the
exactly.
mathematics for that?
Yes, so that mathematics is inside the navigation thing. So inside navigation, there are different types of this algorithms. There are different types of planners. So there is one which we use is a trajectory planner. Then there is another one which is a DWA planner. I guess, DWA. See, DWA planner. So there are different planners for ROS. So how do I will show you how these works later on, but just for a brief, DWA planner, DWA local planner. So this is responsible for planning a path for the robot to go. How does it move? So see, it like it plans. If I go here, it will crash. If I go here, it is okay. If I go here, all this planning it does. So all the mathematics is inside this code. Okay, so here you again, it is based on TF thing that we learned. Okay, then there is one more, as I said, trajectory planner ROS. So trajectory planner ROS, I would say, yeah. So again, see, there are base local planners. It consists of different types. So there is trajectory sample generator. Where it was, I guess there was name given now of different. I need to look into it, but here you can see there is DWA local planner, which is commonly used. There is TEB local planner, which is the trajectory planner. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Apart from that, yeah, and all of these are based on A-star path planning algorithm. So again, if you search for A-star path planning for ROS, all the documentations are here. Uh, yeah. We'll be seeing much into it, but there is one more thing, path planning ROS, I guess.
So there are other techniques also like greedy search and
Yes.
hill
Yeah, but
climb.
what happens is in grid search and stuff, you cannot account for the obstacles that are there. So if in this case, if I give it a navigation goal somewhere over here, okay, it will plan using grid search that it has to go over here. But whenever there is an obstacle that comes up over here, it will not recognize that, no? So this thing, what it does, it automatically updates the map and it makes the shortest path that is in front. So here they have not tuned it properly because they want students to tune it. But again, we'll be learning how to make our own robots using it, how to make the efficient path planning. So see, it's now thinking whether it should go like this or like this. So it thinks like a human. And instead of going exactly straight, it takes a curve path. Why a curve path? Because it is like it can go very easily without affecting to its linear velocities. So if it is going straight, then stopping, then rotating, then again straight, it will take more time. But instead of that, it can go full speed in the curves. That is how it can reach the path or reach the goal.
Okay, sir. In MATLAB, if we are doing, then we may have to find out the mathematics and do the entire
Yes.
programming ourselves. But here it is all ready-made available.
Yes, exactly. And that is why like industries use it, because most of the things are already done. So yeah, I understood what you are saying. I am trying to find that module itself. I have read the documentation about it, but I am unable to find it. Once I find it, I will try to show it to you. Okay. But yeah, here also there is like MATLAB and ROS path planning. They have some functions. Path planning in MATLAB and Simulink. I don't remember where did I read it, but I read it very long back. I need to find it. But inside this, all the mathematics is happening. The reason ROS is like it's a playground, so you can use stuff that are already present and work more on innovation. No need of putting your brains into the existing things that are already there in the environment. Just try to innovate them, use it for your application so that we evolve. That is the main purpose of ROS. If everybody do like put all their efforts in just path planning, then we won't ever make a robot that is able to do path planning. Everyone will be stuck on that same problem statement. So Ross says, okay, I have provided you this, move ahead of me.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Yes. I'll still try to find if I get the thing that I was looking for. Yeah, this is what you're saying, right? Like in MATLAB, this is what happens. Like this is the MATLAB simulation, I guess.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yes. And this is MATLAB. I can see the logo. So these kind of things are, yeah, I was looking for this repository. This was a blog that I read. Yeah, it's from 2018. So if the robot has to go from here to here, it can take a straight path. Or what is the path that is taking? It's a grid-based path, like a straight and then over here. So this is the math that is happening at the background. Then there is global planner. It can go like this. And this is happening in ROS, so you can understand. So I will share this blog with you. It has, because what I want to do using this faculty development program is I want to show you what all things are possible and how you can find the right ways. Because ROS is such a vast subject, it won't be able to, like, I won't be able to teach you in such a short duration. I'm just enabling you with all the different options that are available, and after that you can like try whatever you want on it, and you can evolve on that. Any other questions? If not, then we can take a lunch break and we will be back in an hour at 12:30. Sorry, 2:30. If there is any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, sir.
Sir, any specific resource for Gazebo?
Gazebo, Gazebo has its own documentation, but what I will say is have some patience. We will be learning about it when we actually implement our own robot. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be learning. See, the first things are I want to show you what all things are possible, because if I don't show you the goal, you won't be excited to learn about it. That's the reason in the beginning itself, on the first day, Shubham showed you about the possibilities that are able by ROS. He showed you some videos. Right now, I am showing you the actual implementation of this. And from tomorrow, we will be implementing it on our own robot. So at that time, I will be showing how you can open Gazebo, how you can add your model in Gazebo, how you can make your robot model move and navigate around an obstacle and all those things.
Sir, can you share your contact WhatsApp number?
Yeah, sure. Just a moment. Yeah, instead of my contact number, I will be sharing my email ID, my work email ID.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just give me a moment. If you have any questions, you can ask me over there. I usually help people out with their problems and if they want to implement something around it. I have shared it in the chat.
Sir, thanks.
If there are no further questions, you guys can leave, have lunch, and we'll be back in an hour. And at that, yes, here is the link to the feedback form. Suraj sir, if you want, the feedback form is provided.
Sir, sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Ah,
here.
sir, the thing is that I am only having Windows now. So I don't even have Ubuntu. So I have to start from downloading Ubuntu and then ROS and everything. So then, but ROS is not one package, right? As you told,
No,
we
no, no.
cannot
ROS
keep
is
it.
just a firmware which enables you to work with different robotics packages. So it's
Okay.
like a more of an operating system where you can try out different things.
Okay.
So if you
So
want
how?
to install, there are multiple ways you can go around with it. As I said, you can dual boot your systems to. Just a minute, I will share my screen and I will show you some options. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Sir, listen.
Okay. So first thing I will recommend is to dual boot your system. Okay. For dual booting, I have created a video on my YouTube channel as well. Just search my name on YouTube.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Uh, just go on my channel. Just a minute. It's about an year ago or something. Dual boot your PC and laptop with Ubuntu. Okay.
ClickUp is the
Okay, sir. So we can do it from home only.
Yes, you can do it from. So whenever you have, I have created this video. It was long back. So I've explained why not to use virtual machine and how you can do it from Windows. So everything I was doing on a Windows PC. Okay. So just go through it. There is a complete documentation of how you can dual boot everything. And here in the video, I was using Ubuntu 16 because that was what was used at that time. Now everyone is using Ubuntu 18. So the steps remain same. Just instead of downloading the Ubuntu 16 image, you have to download Ubuntu 18 image. That's it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, so here if you go Ubuntu 16 image, okay, it is directly downloading file. Okay, I will cancel it. Just instead of Ubuntu 16, just search Ubuntu 18.04 image. Image means like the installer. Okay, so here you can download the desktop image for Ubuntu 18.04. So just follow steps remains the same. instead of wherever I'm saying Ubuntu 16, just replace it with Ubuntu 18. That is what you need to do. Okay. And
Okay, sir.
this is one option. Second option is using a VMware.
So
So
this is
virtual
better.
machine.
Yeah,
Huh.
this is better.
So if you are using virtual machine, I guess Shubham already told
Yeah.
you yesterday how
Our,
you can download it.
yeah, our this one will get this divided
Yes.
RAM and all, so it will
Yes.
become slower.
Yeah, exactly. And there is one more third option, okay, that is to use cloud computers. So Google Cloud is one of the service provider. So if I go to cloud.google.com, you need to create an account of Google Cloud here. I am already logged in. So here I can directly go to console. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So this console is like a dashboard for all my projects. Here I have created a separate project for ROS Cloud. Usually it is they usually show one step-by-step process when it is new. So if, for example, if I show you a new project, okay, what I can do is, yeah, here I can click new project. What is the name of the project? Let's say I give it FDP ROS with the name of the project, and I will create it. So it is creating FDP ROS, and yeah, I will select the project. Now, if I select the project here, you can see it is written FDP ROS. So this is my ROS project. Now, if I want to access this project, here is the terminal icon, Cloud Shell. Can you see this?
Okay. Yes.
So now, if I click on this, this is my Ubuntu terminal. Because cloud PCs in industry, everybody uses Ubuntu. So here it will be Ubuntu.
Okay.
So
Sir.
let it open, it will connect to the server. And once it is connected, it will give me a terminal. I will show you. Okay. And this has a specific limit. So if I go to usage statistics, so this is like a limited thing, I guess.
Correct, sir. And plus, if something happens to the server, also it may be problem.
Yeah. So see, now it's Pranshu Tople. Just a minute. I will hide this. Pranshu Tople @Cloud Shell, and this is my project FDP ROS. So this is a Ubuntu terminal. So I can do ls. It will show me all the packages that are there. And if I do cd, I already have my Catkin workspace made. Can you see over here?
Yes, sir. It is small, not.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
Now it is visible.
So if I do ls, it will list down all the things that I have. So I already have my Catkin workspace built. So if I do cd Catkin workspace, everything is there. If I go into cd src, so this is a beginner tutorial that I made to demo it to students. So if I do cd beginner tutorials, did you guys have you tried publisher subscriber yesterday?
No, not. We just saw it, but not tried.
Okay. So that same thing I have done over here. So here if I do ls, so there is a listener.py which is a subscriber, and here talker.py which is a publisher. So again, if I want to, this is like the terminal, and if I wish to do coding or write some code, so I can open, where is it? Open editor. So I can open an editor. So it will go full screen. So here now I have an editor. So here I can open my code. So where is my code? Here is my beginner tutorials, src, talker.py. This is ROS publisher subscriber. All the things are there. If I open terminal, yeah. So both the things are there. Here I can write the code, and here I can test the code on terminal.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, this is like a cloud robotics and a little bit more complicated than what we say. That's the reason I said ki start with very basic, try with Ubuntu, and then you can.
Yeah, double boot.
Yeah, there is a way you can run it on Windows as well. Okay, there is one way, but
No, that's not okay. If Ubuntu is the best, then better we will go with Ubuntu.
yeah, because again, if like I'm just telling out because these are questions asked by students a lot. So even again, I have made a video on ROS on Windows, but even in that video, I explain if you have intermediate knowledge in ROS, only then go for Windows, because it is a little bit different from actual ROS. Let's see, ROS on Windows, how to install ROS on Windows. So there is a video I made on it. Using that, you can run RViz and this thing, Gazebo. Yes, on your PC. So here, if I do this, I guess this is running ROS core on Windows. Yeah, and then I can do ROS topic list. Then after that, I can ROS run empty world Gazebo. So Gazebo is launching. So this is on Windows. You can see this Windows start bar.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. There are also ways you can do it on Mac operating system. So that is one major reason why I prefer Mac, because even that is all possible. So even on my terminal, this is my Mac terminal. So here I can do like ROS version /d, sorry. Yeah. So I am installed ROS Noetic inside this. If I do ROS core, it will start ROS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So there are ways to do it, but again, it is only recommended if you know the whole ROS. So that is the reason. So ROS can run anywhere, but it is recommended to run on Ubuntu first.
Correct, sir. So best is to go for Ubuntu.
Yes, yes.
And
Once you
double boot
understand,
it.
then you can do whatever you want. So as you can see, I have tried it on Windows, I have tried it on Mac operating system, I have tried it on cloud, I have tried it on Ubuntu, everything is there. Even Ubuntu, I have showed you, I have 2 Ubuntus installed in virtual machine.
Okay.
So yeah, it is all possible. But first try to understand how it works and then you can move ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'll go through your videos, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, is there any particular specification for Ubuntu system for to working all those stuff?
Technically, a 4 GB to 8 GB RAM is more than enough for it. And a 4-core processor is at least required. Anything lower than 4-core, like 2-core, 3-core, it will lag a little bit. In fact, it will lag a lot, but at least 4-core, at the least 4-core processor is recommended, and 4 to 8 GBs of RAM. And even 100 GB hard disk or SSD is okay with it. 100 GB is more than enough. Nowadays, like laptops have 1 TB, 500 GB. That is not needed. 100 GB is more than enough for it. And Intel processors are recommended over AMD processors. There are some problems that I have faced when running ROS on AMD based processors. So if it is Intel, it is better.
So Intel 579, what?
Yeah, anything. i3 sometimes lag, but i5 is okay, i7 is okay, i9 is okay. Even on
So
this,
is there any specific graphics card are required for that?
no, graphics card is not required. If graphics card is there, it is advantageous, but if it is not there, it's okay. So even right now, I'm the MacBook that I'm using, it has i5 10th generation and it has a quad core processor. So 4 cores is required. Yeah, and I have 16 GB of RAM, so I have given 8 GBs to the virtual machine and 8 GBs I'm using for Mac operating system.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
So, sir, can I leave this session?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Everybody can leave the session. We can join and half an hour later on the next meet.
Okay, sir. Thanks.